There is an objection from the motion of the minority floor leader to refer it to the Government-Owned and Controlled Corporations Committee, the GOCC Committee, and there's an objection by our majority floor leader. Maybe just show a raising of hands na lang. Those who are in favor of referring it, those who are in favor of the new referral of the minority floor leader to the Committee on GOCCs, please raise your hands. Those who are not in favor, please raise your hand. The majority has it. Motion is lost. 2 in favor, 19 objections, and 1 abstention.
President, may we request that the voting result be announced? Because there was, you counted but you did not announce the result.
There was a showing of hands. As I can see, there's 2 objections and 1 abstention. So all those who are here, can we have the score? Those obviously who did not abstain or object or join the motion of Senator Pimintel have voted, Your Honor.
How is that possible, Mr. President? 4, 6, 10, 11, 14, 18 people on the floor, Mr. President. How is that possible?
No, because the senator, the rest had gone inside. We had Senator Binay here, and they went after the voting. They went inside to partake of the preparation made by Senator Tolentino, but they were inside. We have no plans to come up with a fake vote.
The Committee on Government Corporations and Public Enterprises, because they no doubt establish or seek to establish a government corporation. So I so move, Mr. President, that we correct the referral, Mr. President.
Taken. What is being established here is a financial institution of government. It's a funding source. It will be used for funding mechanism, and therefore, on the face of it all, it seems to more appropriate to leave it with the Committee on Banks and Financial Institutions. Government corporations are more or less, if we're going to set up a new GOCC, government-owned and controlled corporation, and create a charter. We're not creating a charter, I believe, in this Maharlika Wealth Fund.
We're all agreed we are not bound by the actions of the House. Diba? This, that should bind us. We are creating the Maharlika Investment Corporation to manage the fund. That is what is clear from the 2 bills. So what is not clear is that that entity that we are creating is, what is clear is it's not a bank, it's not about currency, is it a financial institution? But if you look at existing definition under existing law, a financial institution is supervised by the BSP. Ito po hindi. So it's safer to refer it to a committee where it is clearly under, and it is the creation of a government corporation, Mr. President.
Mr. President, while this representation agree with the minority leader that we are not indeed bound by the House rules or what the House of Representatives did with their particular version, Mr. President, we are not even bound today, Mr. President, if we actually act and transfer the referral of the bill to another committee, we can still do that. Again, Mr. President, they are still part of the committee because the Government Corporations and Public Enterprises is a secondary committee, Mr. President.
Yes, the lead committee was the banks and financial institutions. In other words, what you're saying, mas tugma.
Yes.
Mas tugma ang committee ng banks and financial institutions and currencies na i-refer dun sa committee.
It identifies the source of the initial capitalization of this entity that these measures seek to create. That is why it makes them a government institution. Yun po, ang pera galing sa pera ng government institutions din eh. So yun po yun, it does not make it all the more that the sections read by the majority leader support our position that we are creating a government corporation called the Maharlika Investment Corporation because we cannot have a fund. There is no manager of the fund.
But,
It's a
Your Honor,
corporation which manages the fund.
but with due respect to the Minority Floor Leader, if you read the bill that was filed by Senator Mark Villar, the establishment of the fund is the primordial concern. It's the establishment of the fund. And several sections later is the creation of the investment corporation. So if you look at the priorities, the establishment of the fund, therefore, the primary committee really to handle this is banks and financial institutions. Secondary yung government-owned and controlled corporations. That is my reading of this bill, and that is also what had transpired in the House of Representatives. And I feel personally, of course, the body can decide today. Personally, I feel that it should be in the Committee on Banks and Financial Institutions. Of course, if there's a motion from the good gentleman, we can decide today, and we can vote on which referral it will be placed in.
Government corporations and public enterprises, with all due respect to the Minority Leader, all questions affecting government corporations. So it would appear that there should be an existing government corporation, and questions affecting the said existing government corporation would be part of the jurisdiction of the said committee, including amendments to their charters. In this case, Mr. President, there is no government corporation in existence which would handle the Maharlika investment funds. No amendments to a government corporation in existence would be under the jurisdiction of the committee.
So if it's a bill, a measure which creates a government corporation, where will it be referred to? Of course, to this committee.
But this bill also's primordial concern is to create a mutual fund. So,
Yes,
going back to that argument, it's an investment fund. So, it will be coming from the banks, particularly Land Bank and DBP. So that is the primordial. I would see your argument, Your Honor, Minority Floor Leader, if the primordial concern was creating the corporation, and then later on, under its subsections, sourcing of funds and what to do with the funds. But no, the bill as it is the creation of the wealth fund. Initially, the first few sections, and then a creation of a monitoring body on how it will be implemented. So the primordial objective of the purpose of this bill is to create the mutual fund, which falls under the committee of Senator Mark Villar.
You can say it's a fund, but fund will not function without decision makers, and the more critical here actually is the Maharlika Investment Corporation. If there is a fund, nobody manages the fund. So what happens?
Recognized.
So just to complete this, I respectfully second the motion of the Minority Leader. Salamat kaayo.